Today on the show, we're speaking to an electrical contracting business. Things are okay, and they want to take their business to the next level. But do they? They don't actually know what the next level is. They don't know what they're building. They need a set of architectural plans so they can be super successful in their missions. Let's do it. Hello, campers. Welcome back to Business Broadcaster. James Burt and James Sinclair on the airwaves.
The two Jameses.
The two Jameses.
Like the two Ronnies, but not as good.
We are speaking to Giorgio Demetrio today. That's
winner of the best name ever award, you say?
Yeah, it does sound. It sounds like a movie star.
It does, doesn't he?
Prime Electrics Limited. Tell us about it, Jamie.
It is indeed. So he's been going 9 years. He has got an estimated monthly revenue of about 60 grand a month. He has got team members. He's got 7 of them. And his biggest challenge, and I had a bit of a pre-chat to him, he's just stuck. He's a bit stuck. He wants to, challenge number 1, grow the business and make it run without him. He's where he's been at. He said, I'm not completely dissatisfied, but I've been stuck here. I've been at the same level for a little while. I don't know how to take it to the next level.
Lots of people in that boat, I think.
Yeah, I think they absolutely are. Second biggest challenge, making the business run and grow without me. Third biggest challenge is marketing, which I guess is the reason for challenge number 1 and 2. He has been going for, I'd say, 9 years. Where does he want to be in 1 year's time? 30% more revenue.
Boring.
Wow.
Boring.
We're not easily offended on this podcast, and I hope you're not either, Giorgio, listening.
I don't know. Why do people just say that, though?
Because that's how people think.
Society acceptance.
That's how normal people think. Not like you with your polka dot scarf. I can achieve anything. Look at me.
I'm wearing this polka dot scarf because I'm freezing in this 500-year-old building and winter has crept up on us.
At the time of recording, when this comes out, people will be like, yeah, it's cold. It's only the 1st of October when we're recording this.
As my nan used to say, I'm feeling chilly around the willy.
That's what she used to say. God bless her. What does a business... Oh, no. I don't even want to say it. If you're annoyed about
Just tell me.
All right, be nice, okay? You ready? You sure? What does a business look like when it's finished? 400k net profit and it runs streamline.
Yeah, it's not great.
What do you think about that, James Sinclair?
Well, it's better than 100k net profit.
It's 4 times better than that, isn't it?
Yeah, 4 times.
Still not happy though, are you?
It's not terrible.
It's all right, isn't it? Do you make the profit that you want to? If so, what is it? He says, I'm happy with it, but it could be better. He wants to, makes 200k. Or he wants 200k. I'm not sure which. We'll have to get some clarity on that in a minute. What do you spend your time day to day doing in the business? He said, I'm in the office doing all responsibilities. So he is a geezer.
That covers everything.
There you go, yeah. I just do everything that is not putting a tool in a screw. That's what. We'll leave the joke.
Okay.
We will leave the jokes there. So that's it. He's stuck. But I think this will be a really good episode for a lot of people because I think, like you said, a lot of people are probably here.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are here.
What's got you to here will not get you to there. But a lot of people don't know where they're going. Which leads me on to my fact or quote of the week. Well, I won't say that now.
Are we doing that now?
We can do, but
is there a knock at the door?
Is there a knock at the door? There is indeed. Interesting quote or fact. Interesting quote or fact. Interesting quote or fact. It's time for the interesting quote or fact of the week. Now,
we've actually got an interesting segment of the week.
We have. Do you want to, before we do the fact, I think we should probably do the segment within the fact.
Yeah, okay. So we batch record these podcasts.
We do.
And in between podcasts or in between shows, what do? Check our phone.
Yeah.
And I happened to go on Instagram and I got sent someone making a piano version of Interesting Fact or Quote of the Week.
Yeah, he said...
They tagged you in as well.
He tagged us and said, I hear you're looking for a new jingle because I'm probably in the latest episode that's come out slagging off the jingle. And this guy has redone the jingle, but in a beautiful way.
Beautiful way. And can we just also say, maybe we could put that in the edit. We need to put him in.
Oh, yeah, we could cut it. Chud's remember to do it. So we can cut it and cut to the Instagram video.
We can do that, can't we, Chuds?
Oh, Chuds can do anything. What can't you do, Chuds? Nothing.
Take him off. Take him off if he's going to. Can we do that, Chuds?
Yes, we can.
There you go.
Brilliant.
Should we play it?
But if you do send us a jingle played on a piano and it's as good as you can do it, as good as this, then you get a video from me and James B.
Yeah, absolutely. Should we hear it? Do you want to hear it?
Let's hear it.
So this is the original. Interesting quote. Awful, I think we could agree. And this is what Joachim has come up with. Joachim Schelem, I believe is the pronunciation.
Hello, Joachim. From Austria.
He is in Austria right now.
International podcast this is.
He was driving from Spain to Holland to do some gigs.
See.
I was listening to your old nonsense and he came up with this to warm his fingers up before his set.
Can you sing over it?
Interesting quote or fact. It's time for the interesting quote or fact of the week. So good, isn't it?
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, thank you for that, because that's very kind of you. You're in the pod. We'll put a little the video in so you can go and follow him. What a talented person. I was saying to
Thank you, but what about Joachim?
he must have an amazing sex life. Did I just say that?
He's got incredible hair. He looks amazing. And imagine if you could just rock up and they're like, oh, hey, welcome to the party. Oh, there's a piano over there. I would only go to parties if there was pianos.
Oh, yeah, he's got incredible hair. Yeah. Not like me. He's not Crafty Coma, this guy. He's got plenty of hair.
Can you play an instrument?
Oh, yeah. Out me arse. I played the banjo, baby. Oh, dear. Do you know when I used to be a magician?
Here we go.
People used to say, can you pull a rabbit out of your hat? And I said, no, but I can pull a hair out my arse. There we go. We're off.
That's why he doesn't do kids' parties anymore.
We are off, baby.
Interesting quote or fact. We forgot about it.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry.
The
interesting quote or fact. So I've got, you can't, so this goes back to Giorgio's challenge. You just can't focus on what you don't want and expect to get what you do want.
There you go.
I'll repeat that because you weren't listening because you were looking at your own statistics.
Yeah, go on, give it to
over
me.
the emotional music. You just can't focus on what you don't want. Expect to get what you do want. It loops twice that music. It's too long. But
one more
do
time
that,
without that. Just give it to me.
You just can't focus on what you don't want and expect to get what you do want. So many people go, what was it you want? Well, I'll tell you what I don't want. Haley's awful for this, my wife. What would you like? Well, I definitely don't want that type of client. Okay, that's brilliant. You've told me what you don't want again. What would you like?
Yeah.
I think so few people have got exact clarity on what they do want.
I know what she wants, a better husband.
She does, but she's not getting it.
Tough
luck. She's locked in.
I've got an interesting fact. I'm going
Have
fact.
you?
Yeah, I'm going fact.
Go on, fact me out, baby.
Chuds, are you going to join us on Interesting Fact or Quote of the Week?
Sure.
Yeah, he's going to give us a quote. So, quote, fact, quote. Now, gross lending in 2022 to SMEs in the United Kingdom, excluding overdrafts.
Okay.
Okay, gang. Chuds, you can have a guess of this. It's like business quiz of the week, but it's not as interesting. Fact or quote of the week.
Yeah, so many things.
So, gross lending, excluding overdrafts to SMEs by all UK banks in 2022 was what?
38 billion.
38 billion. Chuds, what are you going with, mate?
39 billion.
Cop out.
65.1 billion.
What's it?
I was closer.
Chuds wins that. In 2021, it was 57.7 billion. I'm actually going to try and find out what it was in 2023 because my guess would be less.
Yes, you're probably right.
Because I think it's very hard for businesses to get funding at the moment. We introduced lots of people to get funding for your business. Make sure you're doing the 3 KPI rule, monthly management accounts. You understand your labour to turnover ratio, your average customer value. If you know your monthly management accounts inside and out, you're going to be much more attractive for funding.
Is that why you're so hell-bent on those 3 optics?
I just think they're the most important 3.
Yeah, but did the banks think that or do you just think it?
Monthly management accounts, literally.
Yeah, but like labour to turnover ratio.
Yeah, I think, well, the monthly management accounts would be there.
That's the thing they're looking at.
Yeah. I think what really freaks banks out is customer concentration, like one big customer.
Yeah.
That is a very high risk for banks.
Do they generally have like so we had in a previous episode, it might be in the last episode that went out actually, Bar Boots, they said they've got 70-ish% of their revenue is coming from one source and one big client. Is that the sort of thing that a bank would go, nah, not touching that then?
It would be, there's 10 things they're risking. If it's a very profitable business, they've got a contract in place, they would say customer concentration is something that they would mention and say, what are you doing about this? I don't think it's a complete
Would you
deal
have
breaker.
to put it in writing or would it be almost like
I think they'd want to see the business plan that you're looking to dilute the dominance of that customer. But regardless of the bank, that is what you should be doing.
Yeah, 100%. So if you go to them for funding, should you go with a business plan of this is what we're going to do with this amount of funding? Not just, hey, we're going to chuck it in, make some more machine. Like in that instance, it was making photo booths. We're going to make some more photo booths quicker. Do you need to actually have a direct correlation with, we're going to borrow £250,000 and this is where we're going to deploy it?
I think depending on the level of bank. I mean, I always do business plans. What they really care about is the narrative, a one-pager of why you need the money, then backed up with numbers. If you've got contracts, I think that will always trump a business plan. If you've got, we've got this contract for 5 years that's going to be this, and it's an NHS contract or a government contract, that will, do any pretty pictures and narratives and words you're saying, where they can hang a hook on a contract.
And when you say about the one pager, are you actually going in and pitching it to the bank manager?
Well, I mean, at the early days, when you're a smaller business, I think the business plan's really important. Security, management, affordability. But when you get like my stage, I just say, look, I need this. And then I have to.
But you have to go and pitch it?
Yeah, pretty much.
To a person? You sort of like mini Dragon's Den style?
Yeah. And tell them why they're stupid. They're not doing it for me. And I do.
So what's that look like? So is that like you go for a coffee with them, or do you turn up at an actual official presentation?
I went to their offices in London. There was 4 of them. I took my 2 FDs, my 2 accountants that work for me in-house, but I'm the one doing the talking. And
they said, no, we're not going to lend on it. And you were like, you're stupid.
No, they will always lend their bit. It's how quick. That's for me. So I don't go and ask them for something I know they wouldn't do.
Okay.
So it's like reducing the delay.
So you're expediting the process. You're like, I'm going to come and see you, bring my 2 FDs. Yeah. I want it done
bring
right
your
now.
boss, and say, look, this is what I need. I need 2 million for X, Y, Z. This is how long I want to pay for it over a period of number of years. So you have.
So you go with your, like, you've already got the plan of what you're going to borrow, how long you want it for.
Yeah. So basically you want to profile, in my opinion, you want to profile your loans over as long as possible, and then a 5-year commitment. So profile, your mortgage.
Right.
Yeah, so if you've got a mortgage and you're paying it off over 15 years, that's a 15-year profile, but probably a 2 or 3 year commitment when you have to renegotiate your mortgage for a better deal, yeah? So I would always go, I want a 40-year profile, 5-year commitment.
So in terms of like a residential version, it's like how long the term is and the fixed period.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's called it. The professional term is profile and commitment. I'm
just dumbing it down for people.
We say deals. That's what we say in residential terms. Yeah.
Okay. And did they give you the dough after you went and kicked off a fuss?
No, they said, we understand what you want, but we're doing another big transaction. They want that transaction to be completed before we, move on to this next big transaction.
So in that instance where they'll go, we can't do 2 things for you at the same time, would you just go, okay, cool, I'm going to take that road to HSBC. See you later.
Yeah, that's what I do. And they know. I'm very open with them. I go,
they all talk. I reckon they got a WhatsApp group. Sinclair's a sod. He's been in to see me again. He's walking down the road to you. He's getting off at Liverpool Street. Watch out, everyone at RBS. Send him up to the 3rd floor when you tell him no on the 1st floor.
Yeah. I'm definitely multi-banked now.
But they know that.
Yeah. I have one bank that I do most of the stuff with.
Yeah.
And then HSBC I use.
And will it be that they won't?
Atom Bank I use. Handels Banking I use. And then another particularly private bank that the royal family are connected with that I don't like saying their name.
Oh, very
but
nice.
I'm sure people can go and work that out. That's who I do most of my stuff with. And they are very supportive of me in the round.
So, for example, the private bank you do most of your stuff with, they will generally back you because they've been with you for a long time. But is there certain banks that are better for certain stuff?
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
So you will always go and shop around? Or will you go to them first?
I think
I'm going to do this first. I'm going to give it to you guys. If you
I would always try and do it with them first.
Would you really? Okay.
Because I believe, for me, people staying in the job and having a long relationship is valuable to me.
Okay. But then if they won't give you what you want, you pick up, you throw your toys out the pram, you go elsewhere.
Absolutely. And you get bigger and uglier as you go on, don't you, in life? And then you die.
Lovely. Well, that was cheery. Thanks for that very much. Right. Okay. So we've done interesting fact or quote of the week. We've played our fabulous jingle. I think it's time to get Giorgio on and grow his business, shall we?
Let's do it, baby.
Hey gang, we're going back to the pod in just a moment, but I wanted to tell you about Entrepreneurs University. This is a platform that I've created for entrepreneurs and business owners that are serious about growth. There's 100 video lessons from me on everything in business, raising finance, buying companies, property investment, and everything in between. Attached to each video is a downloadable PDF that goes into more detail about what we've learned in the video. It goes one step further than that because I've also put stuff that you won't get anywhere else onto Entrepreneurs University. The lessons go into way more detail, but not just that. You're going to get my business plans, my spreadsheets, and all the files that I use to drive the KPIs in my business. Just think about how powerful that could be for your business. And here's the good news. You can try Entrepreneurs University for free. 14-day free trial. After that, it will cost you just $49.99 a month. That's less than a pair of Nikes to grow the profitability in your business. There's a link in the video description, and I cannot wait to see you in Entrepreneurs University.
Giorgio, welcome to the podcast. How the devil are you, sir?
Hey guys, I'm great, thanks. How are you?
We are very well, thank you, my friend. So obviously we chatted a little bit a minute ago about your business. And we've done a sort of a summary based on the facts you'd submitted to being on the pod. But can you just give us, in your own words, a bit of the journey of you in the business and tell us where you're at, my friend?
So obviously I was working for electrical companies and I started doing, private work on the side. And obviously I'll cut a long story short, I started making more money doing my private work on like evenings and weekends than like the salary that the company was paying me. So my wife said to me, like, why don't you just give it a go self-employed and see how you go? Started off with just me, took an apprentice, took another electrician, and then bang. 8 years later, I've got 10 electricians working today. And that's how it is. I did think that people didn't need an electrician every single day, but evidently they do.
Oh yeah, electricians and plumbers. What a trade that is to be in. So where are you at the moment? So you said to me in the pre-chat chat, you're a bit stuck. You're not completely dissatisfied, but you've been where you're at for a little while, and you want to take things to the next level. Give us where are you at right now?
Well, again, kind of long story short, and I don't want to expose too much in regards to like customers' names, but like I've got like 3 or 4 customers that I'm like heavily dependent on, and like I don't have any kind of like. I've been working with them like 3 or 4 years, so I don't think they're going to drop me. But God forbid they did, it would be a big kind of loss for me. So I want to try to build it up and be more private electrics, private work, rather than being dependent on these kind of like multi certification landlord companies. I also subcontract, or not subcontract, but have a relationship with another electrical contractor who basically we do EICRs for loads of student accommodations around the country. We've done Glasgow, we've done Birmingham, we've done Southampton for loads of student accommodations. And I'm just thinking, it's great that I've got this work and it's great that I've got these relationships, but I would love to like have the relationships with the student accommodations directly through me and have more direct private work. That's what I want to try to generate. But then I guess that's a question for you guys. Am I thinking wrong or am I thinking right? Should I just maintain my relationships with these people who are giving me so much work and carry on that way? Or should I build it more privately, or a bit of both?
Okay, so it's over reliance on a couple of customers and then sort of growing it into. Do you want lots more staff? Do you want lots more pressure? What do you ultimately? What's the end game for you, mate?
I'm not sure. Like I got to a point where I was like really relaxed with my business and I was really had it under control. But recently, I don't know why, I've just been like just struggling to sleep, which is not a good place to be. Like I get in my bed and I'm just overthinking about everything. So I'm not sure if I could personally handle more staff. I've got 10 electricians working today and I've got 1 PA. I could potentially go to 12, 14, 16 electricians, but then I would need more admin staff to deal with it. Even though I've got the PA now and she does quite a lot of things, I still feel like a lot is still so heavily dependent on me, like my energy to chase, my energy to communicate. I just want to build more of a business and more of a limited company rather than people chasing Giorgio and wanting me personally, if that makes sense.
James here. Hello, mate. How are you?
Good, thanks.
How long have you been listening to the podcast?
To be truthful, I've only listened to just 1 or 2.
How did you find out about us then?
I went onto Spotify. I was sitting on the beach in Sorrento while my wife was having a swim. And I typed in grow your electrical company in London. I think that's what I typed in, something along them lines. And then a podcast come up with another electrician, very, very similar to me, 6 or 7 guys, got like manic busy when the government changed the law about landlords having EICRs. I think that's the year we did 1.1 million, and that's the best we've ever done. That year was just berserk. I had estate agents giving me like blocks and blocks of EICRs of flats and stuff. And yeah, so that's how I heard about you guys.
Okay. So you don't really know much about me then?
Not humongously, to be honest.
Very good. I love it. Okay. First of all, first thing is reverse engineer the situation that you're in. So personal bank account number. What do you want to hit your personal bank account each and every single year to have the most amazing life? If you know what that number is, you then reverse engineer to build the business to that size.
Mhm.
So if £300,000 is enough to have the dream life that you want to lead, and you're not going to have that much ambition after that, then that's great. You build the business
I don't
to
know
be
if
that.
I don't know if that's a low ambition or a good ambition, because I heard your comments before, and I am a very, very kind of like high aimer and high believer, but at the same time, I've got a wife and 3 kids, so like I'm not like totally free to.
Yeah, but I think that's the thing, Giorgio. Like, I want to build a monster, and I have a monster. I have a big business. But that's not for everyone. And I think it's really important that you understand that, do you want a boutique business or a big business? Once you understand that, you can then build something that fulfills your life, because you might not want what I've got.
It's true. I guess like I need
So
an
I always say to people,
an accurate goal.
work out what your personal bank account number is. What would be the amount
Yeah.
of money that you need each and every single year? And then you might just think, do you know what? I only need 10 more good customers. The point about those big customers that you've got, you don't get rid of them, you keep them, but you build a few more so that if one of them does go, and one day one of them will go, that is absolutely for sure. Like day and night come round and around each and every single day. You want to make sure that you're building pipeline to replace the person that you might lose. So you
Yes.
build your personal bank account number, you keep your good customers, and you build a pipeline of next customers in case one of them goes, which one day one of them will. To help you sleep at night, journal. That will massively help. Get a notepad, put it next to your book, and write down all the things that are in your mind each and every day. That will really, really help. I promise you.
Thank you. What's helped is me leaving my phone downstairs.
Yeah, maybe, but you know that usually when I can't sleep is because I've got so much going around in my head. If I write it down, it can very, very quickly help.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I'll try that tonight. I'll try to write it down and then put it to the side, and hopefully that will put them thoughts to bed.
What was the other questions, Jay?
What is it that's keeping you up at night?
Not quite sure, really. I'm not really like a paranoid person or whatever. I'm just thinking, I don't know, just thinking about.
George, it
my
happens to
business.
all of us. I mean, it must happen to you sometimes, JB, doesn't it?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, like
Just
yeah.
been more
You're asking a
confident
question that's,
recently.
and you're going through the same thing. I go through that. Sometimes you're a business owner. You've got a lot of responsibility. 12 electricians to pay. You got to look after your family.
Yeah.
You know, like one of the other things that, where is your PA based?
We share an office. She sits right in front of me every day.
Good, good, correct answer. Make sure you never outsource that. You know, that's really important. This person knows you inside.
She sits in front of me every day.
And give
she's
them
good.
more.
She's impressive.
If she's good, give them more to do. Give them more
Yeah,
responsibility, pile more on,
Yeah.
so that you've got a highly effective person that's working at peak performance will be growing their business, not operating it. And
That's it.
If you had a job title to describe what you do, if we were following you around with a camera, what would be
Yeah.
the job title that we would come away and say, well, that's Giorgio's job title in the business?
Oh, it's a bit of a difficult one. I always put myself as like the director of the business or the owner.
So let me
of
tell
the
you,
business.
to me, peak performance ownership is they're getting more customers,
Yeah.
they're buying companies, they're
Yeah.
focusing on income generating tasks most of the time.
Yeah,
They are
that's what I'm doing.
coaching team members to become better.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
developing the business so that it can win the next contract, and they will be
Yeah.
doing no day-to-day stuff.
That's more or less what I do. Every day I'm trying to win customers, trying to keep existing customers happy, trying to motivate and train my engineers. That's basically what I'm doing. And then the PA is doing all the admin, sending certificates, uploading, invoicing, responding to emails, stuff like that.
That's good. That's good. So what?
Should we go through the questions then?
Yeah, let's
go
do that.
through the questions. So you submitted a bunch of questions, Giorgio. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Question number 1, how to grow and how would you increase inquiries? What would you do there, Jimbo?
If this was my business and I was an electrical contracting business, I would find 3 or 4 people that have sold an electrical contracting business.
Mhm.
I know a couple actually, and I would ask them to. I would send them an email, send them a letter, say, look, I've got an electrical contracting business. I wonder if you would like to do any mentorship with me to help me grow my business.
idea.
You've sold your business. I'll come to you. I'll pay you. I'll take you for dinner. I just really want to delve into your brain. Can you coach me and be my mentor? They've probably got time, money. They'd like to help you. And I can think of someone straight away that I would go to. And I'm sure you probably know someone, but that is a James Sinclair playbook. I've done that throughout my career, found people like that, and that's massively elevated my business. Do you have someone like that?
To contact someone who sold an electrical business?
Someone that's doing what you're doing. You know, they ran it for 20, 30 years. They sold it for a lot of money. Do you know anyone that's done that?
I don't know anyone off the top of my head. I can try and look into it, but just to give you some context on my kind of like theory is that I built up my customers just through kind of like raw kind of not the old school way, or I'm not going to say I've never advertised, I only get recommendations, but it's all through like BNI, networking, meeting people, talking to people. I must have spent thousands and thousands and thousands on these SEO and PPC companies that promise you the world, and they just never deliver. And I'm thinking, my phone is not blowing up with calls, 10, 20 calls a day. Hi, I need electrician. I'm not getting, 50 website inquiries a month. So I'm not generating a lot of inquiries, yet we're still so busy. And I'm thinking, imagine if we did have a healthy, active marketing stream where we was generating 10, 20, 30 inquiries a day. Then that would really give me confidence to grow and take on more guys. But as I say, we kind of just plateaued where we are.
But you can have
and I'm
that,
just keeping
Georgia.
them guys busy.
You can have that. If you meet someone that's been there, done it, got the metaphorical t-shirt, they've gone through the process and they've sold the business and they're, 65, they've done everything, or they're 60 and they sold a business for 20 million pounds. There was an electrical contractor and they said, well, this is what I've done. There's no guesswork. You just, get them to meet with you once every 3 months and you tell them where you're at. That can massively help you. And then if this was my business, I would probably also do Google pay-per-click.
100%.
Not SEO. I would do PPC, as long as the website is good and is in a way that it's going to work to get you those leads into proper inquiries that make people want to pick up the phone. Because you could spend £200 a day on Google PPC and very quickly get 20 to 30 inquiries a day. SEO would not be my first option.
That's true. I need to find a good company though, because I've used companies before and I think they've just been rubbish. People contact me like inaccurate inquiries or they're too far away, stuff like that. So I need to find a good company to use.
A good one will make sure that your website is. No, I mean, I can recommend someone to you. If you message us off air, we will recommend someone to you. The person that organised this podcast, someone that I know, they're based around London, and they say no to half the people that come to them, and that's why I value them.
Okay.
And they'll make sure that your website, because a lot of people do a lot of marketing and then there's no response method that's good enough for a call to action on the website. And JB and I see that all the time, and you do a lot of effort and, it's not good.
Yeah, that's exactly correct.
Prime example, I've just clicked to get a free quote and it's trying to do a FaceTime video with me. So straight away, I'm going to bounce to the next website straight away.
Yeah.
It's your top call to action button. And you can see what you've done. You've had someone who's sold you the SEO dream, because then there's like 15 blogs on one day in August. There's 15 blogs another day. There's 10 blogs another. That's not how SEO works.
Yeah. SEO does work for some
in 2 years' time.
Yeah. And what SEO is for me, writing a book, doing articles, doing podcasts, doing YouTube videos. But actually, if I had an electrical contracting business, I would just be doing Google PPC.
100%. My lights have gone.
Just PPC.
Yeah.
Because you're not really searching for, if your lights blow or your cooker goes, you're not going, well, do you know what? I'd love to read a blog on the 7 things that might make your oven burst. You just want someone to come and fix your oven like now, don't you?
Yeah,
that's the reality of it. And people who are on Google, it's intent-based marketing. They are going to make a decision there and then, straight away. But if you are going to do it, you need to get a better landing page than what you've got at the moment.
But
you're right.
there's a couple of things here. You've got to work out your PBA number. What do you want in your personal bank account each year? The journaling would massively help with the sleep problem. It does sound like you want to go to the next level, though. That's the thing, like you're teetering on the edge of going, oh, if I just had 20, 30 more leads a day, I would employ more people. I would do more. And I think the medicine that we always prescribe here on the podcast is people actually working out what they want, because then it's so much easier to plan how you're going to get it. There's a little phrase that we say, B times do equals have. What have you got to become and what have you got to do to have all the things that you want to have? But actually reverse engineer it. Do you know what you want to have? Just growing 10, 20, 30% each and every single year. But why? Why do you want to do that?
Yeah, it's true.
Like, because a lot of people, Georgia, let me just finish. A lot of people would go, actually, for me, more holidays with my family and being around my family is way more important than the money that I can earn. Yeah. Other people will go, no. I want to build a monster and I want to be the next Elon Musk. Actually, working out what you want is where it starts, because you might realize, well, actually, my business doesn't need to be 30% bigger. If it was just 15% more bigger and I had an extra 28 days a year holiday, so I'm only working 9 months a year, that could fulfill me. Yeah. Might not. I don't know. But until you've worked that out, what's the point in building a business just for the sake of building it?
Yeah, that's true. I've got a kind of like sort of like a rough figures and amounts in my mind, but I should really write that down and have it more accurate.
Absolutely.
I could keep the amount of electricians that I have at the moment and just increase my prices, but then will that decrease my conversion?
A great answer, but you don't know what you want. So go and get you. I always say to people, book a hotel, get out of environment on your own, tell your missus what you're doing. Say, I'm going for a think night, and just be on your own.
That'll get a good response.
Then I go
for a night of thinking.
Yeah.
What did you say? I said thinking.
I think I wrote down somewhere that if I was taking home 30 grand a month, I could have any lifestyle I wanted.
I agree. So why don't you just reverse
within means, without being overly stressed, and it still allows me to be a good husband and a good dad. If I was clearing 30 grand a month, I could.
But the thing is, Giorgio, some people don't want that. Some people, like lots of entrepreneurs that go to the next level, lots of people we have on the pod, they're not doing it for money. They just cannot. Like I'd be one.
You
of
don't,
them.
Yeah.
Cannot help yourself. Got to do the next 5 million deal, the next 10 million deal. Elon Musk. Is that man doing it for the money? Absolutely not. We're doing space tourism, going to Mars, building electric cars, buying Twitter as a little side hustle. I mean, it is a joke. That man is not doing it for money. Richard Branson, starting a cruise ship company at 74 years old when you've already got a couple of Caribbean islands. Again, not doing it for the money. And until you work out what that is, it can be very stressing and very unfulfilling life. Once you know what you want, it can become very manageable. You might realize, actually, I don't need to eat this whole elephant. A horse will do.
That's a weird analogy. I kind of get where you're going with it, though.
Yeah.
One of the other questions that you asked, Giorgio, was how to make the business operate without you. Jim, your take on that?
Well, I believe
your PA sounds.
Yeah, I think she sounds great. This PA, I've believed the philosophy for building a great business is E plus M equals S, which is entrepreneurship plus management equals success. And if you obviously can delegate to this PA, and that sounds great. And I would, if it gets stressful, you get 2 PAs and they're running the business day to day. And if you can be the marketeer of the business rather than the operator of the business, then that's great. And that's how you grow it.
She's good, the PA. The only thing is, she's not electrically knowledgeable.
That
so sometimes people want to talk about the quotes and talk about the job and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, do I need to employ another guy or another electrician and have him in the office and have him learning what I do in regards to customer service, winning jobs, sales as well? Especially after you've done the EICR and you sent an estimate, if you just say, come back to me, then they're never going to come back to you. We always follow it up, even call them with a courtesy call and say, look, we provided you with an estimate. We haven't heard from you. Is there anything you want help with that we can help secure the booking? So I'm just thinking, do I need another person in the office to replace me, really?
Maybe.
Potentially.
But again, do that. The first bit of homework is knowing what your PPA is. Then how to grow your B2B business and how to get more commercial clients. LinkedIn.
Yeah, that would be great.
LinkedIn is a great tool for stuff like this. Again, getting a mentor that's sold a business, they'll have a black book of contacts. That's the thing. Like, say you got someone that's had an electrical contracting business and they turned 50 million quid. They sold it. They made a load of money. They will know 20 people that will just take their call instantly and go, I'm working with this guy, Giorgio. He's got a really good business. And they will just introduce you to people and it'll be the best money you've ever spent.
Yeah.
The best money. I mean, I'm so sure of it. I'd eat my own hat if I'm wrong.
Okay, nice one.
And do you know what? You could, where you buy all your materials from, the wholesaler, you get, ask them, say, do you know anyone that's sold an electrical contracting business that's not doing very much right now that was very successful? Can you give me 3 or 4 names? They will give you 3 or 4 names.
And they'll know, won't they?
They will
know. They will know, yeah.
And then you work out how to find out about them, and they will teach you more in an afternoon with them than you'll ever learn. It'll take you 10, 20 years to work out everything they know just off the top of their head.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Yeah, so I'll start sourcing guys that have done what I've done, been where I've been and sold, and then ask them.
Yeah, but people say this about Charlie Mullins, plumbers, they go and have a chat with Charlie Mullins and they come out thinking that their life's changed, whether you like him or not. There is no denying he built £140 million business that he sold doing plumbing contracting work. He will know people that can just open doors for him because he was in the game for so long. You've got to.
Yeah, I've listened to him a lot.
He's going again, isn't he? He started another brand.
Has he?
Yeah,
Is he?
yeah, called WeFix London. He's going again.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Is he
He
really?
sold,
Yeah,
he
he's
sold
going-
Pimlico
yeah.
plumbers to an American company, didn't he?
Yeah, he sold Pimlico, and then he's still got annoyed with the UK economy, and he said, "I'm going to go again." He's
Yeah,
creating
is he living in Spain now? He's living in Spain now.
Yeah, I think he's not a resident of this country for tax purposes any longer.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we saw that interview with him the other day. But yeah, he's the goal. When people are trying to be cheap, I always use Pimlico as an example. I said we're not trying to be the cheapest electricians in the world. We're trying to be the best, and we're trying to provide a professional service. All my guys got branded vans, uniforms, polite, respectful, stuff like that. I've had tradesmen come around my house. God's sake, they're awful.
Georgia, where are you based in the country?
We're based in Potter's Bar.
Yeah, great location. Yeah, brilliant.
We cover all of London, really. I've got my guys all over the place, doing work.
So
Brilliant.
That's another thing. We kind of like purposely avoid any installation work and any builders because they just can't do the cash flow because you don't know when you need to go there. You don't know when they've plasterboarded, put up a partition. And I just thought to myself, I can't be dictated by builders for the rest of my life. So our model is electrical inspections and repairs, landlord inspections. So we need a lot of regular inquiries for it because we're not like on a job for a month, if that makes sense. We're in and out, quick cash flow. So that's why I need more inquiries. So we don't do any installation work really.
Well, the answer is
stuff,
PPC.
if possible.
Yeah,
Google PPC will do that for you.
Yeah, but how do I find a good company to manage
I
it for me?
told you,
Or can I
like,
do it
message
myself?
us afterwards and we will intro you to someone.
Thank you, sir.
But I think what you need to do is find a PPC company that specialises in trades and that won't just take your money. You ring 2 or 3 of them and get a proposal from them, having 3 out at the same time, and then you get the proposal and come back. Do you know anyone good other than the person that I know?
who are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of Laura.
Oh, I'm thinking of Dan. Yes, we know 2 people.
Yeah, so we'll both intro you.
Yeah.
Because what?
Yeah, I'd love a recommendation, please.
Yeah, well, I'm reticent to recommend people on air
Yes,
because I like people to have 2 or 3, and then it's not like James Sinclair and James Burt have said, this is the absolute person that's going to improve your
but
sex
who you're talking
life.
about is fantastic.
These.
Yeah,
so I want you
It'd
to
be
go
great
and
to
get.
speak to all of them.
Yeah, go and get 2 or 3.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Right, if there's anyone who is listening from the Potters Bar / London area and they're thinking, do you know what my electrics could do with fixing, or I'm a letting agent or a block property management company, and I like the sound of Giorgio, where can they go to find out more information about you and your business, my friend?
They can find our website, which is www.primeelectrics.co.uk. Even if you just Google Prime Electrics, our Google page will come up, and they can just make an inquiry on our website or call us, and we'll be happy to help.
Or click the get a quote button and you end up on a FaceTime to you as well. So there you go.
That's right.
Ticking all the boxes there. Brilliant. Thank you very much for being on the podcast, Giorgio. Appreciate your time.
You're so welcome. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, pal. Thank you very much. There you go.
Cheers, guys. Have a great day.
Giorgio
Love
from
you.
Prime Electrics, primeelectrics.co.uk. Oh, what's that noise?
It's interesting.
What is that noise? I liked him. He's a nice guy.
Nice guy, yeah. Should we do the grading now?
Yes, let's do it, baby.
Okay, so we're doing the 8 traits of the great entrepreneurs. There's 8 traits. If there was a 9, it would be a model. And he spoke about model there. His model was to have just lots of little customers rather than one big customer, although he said he's got 4 big customers at the beginning that provide all of his income. So a little bit confused there.
Yes.
I think he's a bit frustrated by his model. It's funny, he's not a regular listener to this, and he's just heard us once by having a quick Spotify search.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. I think our regular listeners that have listened to lots come sort of proprietary to the show, don't they?
Yeah.
They know how it's going to go. He didn't really.
No.
So it's interesting for us. When I started it was like this, by the way.
Yeah, but I suppose people don't. But I think it's nice because I think there's going to be so many people who are in his position. And, you know, the whole thing of what has got you to here, there'll be so many people who are in that space where they are a tradesperson, they get off the tools and then they get into business. But they're not business people. They're still an electrician, if that makes sense. But they have to run the business to do the trade, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Difficult place to be. But like I say, you can see from his website, and this is not me knocking it in any way, shape or form, but like SEO is not going to work for that website. No. But like you said, it's a PPC game. It's just that simple. You
spend thousands on SEO and not necessarily.
Or 10 quid a day on Google. Like you only have to spend a little bit just to get to the top.
I reckon for £100 a day with the right PPC.
Oh, yeah.
Because he only needs to be he's not
area,
nationwide, is he? Okay, so starting with the end in mind, what are we going to give him?
No,
he doesn't get that. Passionate about their cause?
I think so, yeah, he seemed to be.
Okay. Untold amounts of resilience? I'm not giving him that.
No,
the master relationships people? Yeah, you can have that. He was nice.
Yeah, why not?
Commercial awareness? I don't think he really knows enough. He knows a bit. They innovate so they don't evaporate? It's not. No. The master marketeers? No. Stay teachable and curious?
Definitely.
Yeah. He's got 3.
3 out of 8.
3 out of 8, baby.
It's better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. I can verify that because I once poked my eye with a sharp stick.
There we go. That was 8 traits of the greats.
You don't know what you don't know. You just don't know. Because a lot of people will be sitting there going, well, it's so obvious. PPC.
Yeah.
All right, well, you go and change your socket. Go on. Giorgio can change it. You can't change it. I can.
Well, you know what time it is now. I think there's a knock at the door.
There is a knock at the door. Oh, hang on. Yeah, there we go. It's time for the business quiz.
It's Jim versus JB on the quiz that's businessy. Business knowledge and it's fun. Which one's clever and which one's dumb? Izzy Wizzy, let's get quizzy.
Do you know what I loved about this? Chuds took his, was you about to go and do something? He took his headphones off and then within a blink of a moment he thought, no, I want to listen to the jingle. And is that what he did?
I don't think that's what he was thinking. I just think he thought, oh, you did?
No,
okay,
he did it.
fine.
He loves it. He's a big fan of the jingle.
Come on then, bring the envelope in, Chuds. Here he comes. Don't show your face though, we're holding you back like the Stig. People at Business Masterclass last week, thanks, couldn't believe how handsome he was. They're like, is that Chuds who does the video content? Jeez, he should be in front of the camera, not behind it.
Have you made that jingle a cappella?
Yeah, of course I have. Fill it for time.
There we go. I love it. Right. So,
what happens here?
We've got a business quiz fact in here.
Wax sealed envelope.
You can't get it wrong. It's either higher or lower. Well, you can't get it wrong, but whoever's closest. So it's like higher or lower, but it's
closest wins. Join in at home if you'd like to.
I lost last time, but I should have won.
Yeah, but it wasn't a real win, was it?
It was a real win.
No.
Yeah. I'm glad you admit that. It's your turn to open.
It is. Okay, let's do it. Here we go. Wax sealed. And it's fun. Which one clever and which one's dumb? Oh, here we go. Today's business quiz question is...
Actually, I've got some feedback for you. James Martin, regular viewer of the pod, he said it's really annoying when JB read it out once and we couldn't see the picture. So make sure you get that properly on
You right there, James
camera.
Martin? Is that good enough for you? Yeah? You done? Fine, we'll carry on then. How many cars? I love James Martin.
Do you know what? But people
You
that
should- have
listen
you
to this,
never in- you
tens of thousands of people listening to go, who is James Martin? Who is James Martin?
Oh, you'll find out eventually.
Yeah,
You
he
should
is
get him
going to
on one
become.
day.
He's going to become a special guest host on the pod. I lined it up. He's going to come on one day.
Is he?
We're going to build a new studio in the coming year. That's
Okay.
a permanent studio, and then I think we should have every now and then a guest host on.
Oh, he would be good.
So it becomes a threesome. We become a thruple.
A thruple, fantastic.
Only every now and then.
I'd make her in a thruple. It was well weird. That's a story for another time.
It's a business show, ladies and gents.
Anyway, yeah, but business and life are intertwined, aren't they? Have you never interviewed him, James Martin?
We
He's a
did.
fascinating
What happened
dude,
there,
isn't he?
Chance? We done that, didn't we?
It was right before. Can you hear me?
Yes,
It
can.
was right before we upgraded all the kit and we started doing proper interviews. So it just wasn't up to par. And we thought we can do it with James Martin anytime. So
So we're going to do it again.
yeah.
We should, in your new studio, we could have speakers, and then when he walks on, we can play him the jingle. He would absolutely love that, James
Yeah,
Martin. Anyway, back to the point.
Yeah.
How many cars did Rolls-Royce sell in 2023?
Worldwide.
Worldwide, I imagine. I don't know. I'm not sitting inside.
Okay.
Play along at home,
Chance is
put your-
playing along.
Put your answers in the comments on YouTube. Go on, we'll wait for you. Do you need more time? You're good. Okay, Chud's joining in as well. How many cars did Rolls-Royce sell in 2023?
What have you got, JB?
I think they sold 2,500. They sell very, very, very few cars because they believe, this is interesting, they believe that every time they sell a car, it devalues the brand.
They do depreciate massively, though, Rolls Royces.
Which is why they do that, them Larry cars, like a boat tail that they give to Beyonce for 28 million quid, because then it makes a 400 grand car look relatively cheap. But they do those Larry one-off projects.
So you're
to
going for
increase
how many?
brand value? 2,500 I'm going for. Michael
Worldwide.
Chudley.
Only 2,500.
Yep.
£2,500. 2,500. What are you going for, Chance?
20,000.
20,000? Chelsea's a £500,000 cars, man.
There's a lot of people with a lot of money.
You are getting that YouTube cash these days, though, aren't you? So he's all right. He's in the market for them.
I'm going to go higher than both of you. I think
No
it's
way.
40,000.
40,000. Sinclair's gone 40,000. Chudley's gone 20,000. Bert the Burke has gone with 2,500. Let's find out live on
You're
the.
talking about yourself in the face.
You do that all the time. You sat at breakfast, you went, James Sinclair doesn't eat that. I'm like, you are James Sinclair, you twat. Right, how many cars did Rolls-Royce sell in 2023? The answer is 6,032.
Wow.
Yeah, baby. 6,032. It was an all-time high number of sales since records began in 2005. Well, they've only got records from 2005. They've been around for like 60 years, haven't they? Anyway, meanwhile, Ford sold about 4.4 million vehicles to dealers and distributors worldwide in 2023. In 2005, Rolls-Royce sold just 796 cars. So last year, 6,032 cars, which means that this week, he's having the jingle again. The
I'll
cup
take it.
stays where it is, and you take the spoon.
There we go.
Are you surprised by that number? Well, obviously, I just thought 40,000.
Yeah, I am. Because in China, there's a massive market for oil. Every time I'm in China, I see them.
Yeah, but they're probably secondhand. This is probably only brand spanking new ones. But they're
Yeah, it's
really
very
hot in it. They limit the supply, like Rolex.
Yeah, I'm sure they do, yeah.
6,000. So there you go.
7 billion people on the planet.
When are you going to get yourself a Larry car?
I love Rolls Royce.
I know, but this is really interesting because you said
I just love
you can't justify the cost of it, can you? Because you're like, I could buy another ice cream parlour for that money.
Yeah, and that's how I do it. Or a warehouse. I'd much rather have a warehouse. But I mean, a Rolls Royce Ghost. Oh, just.
Do you not think you should just treat yourself and get one?
And they've now brought out the Spectre. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's an amazing bit of kit, isn't it? Would you ever have
have you
a
ever
car
sat
like
in
that?
one as well, Rolls Royce?
Oh yeah, my
They are
pals
so
got one. It's
comfortable.
ridiculous. They're so fast as well.
They're
It's like-
so comfortable. Even if you've got hemorrhoids, they'll be comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how comfortable they are.
Would you ever? How much dough would you have to have in the bank to splurge on a roller?
I could never buy a brand new one.
Never.
Never.
Really?
I just couldn't do it.
This is so interesting.
No. Because it's a depreciating asset, isn't it?
But
So-
what if all of your other appreciating assets pay for it? all that commercial property rent roll,
Mm.
all those ice cream, every scoop's a little bit of dough in your pocket.
Because what I would think is that you buy one of these for $500,000, within 6 months it'll be worth 350,
Yeah, but you get the joy of having it.
not £150,000 worth of joy.
So you would never buy yourself a brand
I've
spanking
never
new-
bought. I mean, I've always had Range Rovers. I could not buy a new one. I just think it's
Really?
stupid. So I always get them 3 or 4 years old.
Do you?
Yeah.
What money would you have to have in the bank? What's your PBA? What's your PRA? Your personal roller account? That was crap, wasn't it? Chuz liked it.
It's just not
Nothing.
turns me on like that.
What
yeah.
you're like, oh, I like that. Oh, look at that old little.
No, I do look at them and I think I love them.
2,000 square foot little
If
grunter,
I-
little grunter down in Brentwood. Oh, hello.
I would much rather have a Rolls Royce than an Aston Martin or a Lamborghini or a Bugatti. Yeah, you're in charge, aren't you, when you get in one of them? So comfortable as well.
Just not sold on it. No.
It's interesting. Daniel Precy was at my event, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He'd done a little talk. He said, I'd done a talk and they picked me up in a Rolls Royce. He said, this is the big difference between
Not
Americans.
for your event, by the way. You couldn't even be asked to go and get it from the tube station.
He might have got an Uber. But what's
Shared.
really interesting, and this really talks about the divider between the pond of Britain and America. And he said, they pick you up in a Rolls Royce, went to do the event. You get out of the Rolls Royce and people want to have a selfie with you at the Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
And he said, people in the UK just think, what a twat.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it? You've got those supercar accounts in the States, like, oh, excuse me, how did you make your money? They go up and interview people at the car window, don't you? Like say here in the UK.
Yeah, we don't celebrate success enough
No.
in the UK. We just
I
don't.
think that is very telling, actually. When you see a supercar or someone in amazing shape or someone who's clearly, just, them people who dress like they're dripping with cash, a bit like you. When you see those people, what is that instant thing that you think? Because that is your subconscious talking to you, and you need to train your subconscious instead of going, look at that Ferrari. Oh, what does he think he is? Think fair play, good on you. Or
No,
she
I
is.
think, I always think, what's their story?
Yeah.
That's my first thing. Oh, where did they get that? What's their story?
Do you ever go and ask them?
Sometimes because they're in I'm meeting them properly.
Have you ever sat, you go to the posh bank, which we won't mention, rhymes with oots. If you're sat in a posh bank and you're waiting for them to bring you a frappuccino, whatever happens in these places, I don't know, I've only ever been to Metro Bank, but if you go in there and someone's bringing you a coffee on a floating cloud or whatever they do for the posh people, do you ever sit there and you look at someone else, you go, I wonder what they do?
Oh, all the time.
Do you?
I mean, if I'm having an intimate dinner there and there's like 10 or 12 clients, everyone gets to know. But yeah, if in the banking, I always wonder how.
So what you call it, the banking hall?
Yeah, that's
Blimey, James Sinclair bought a 500-year hotel. Now he thinks he's Henry Tudor. I went down to the banking hall and I met all the other rich people and I wore my spotted scarf and they thought I looked very, very gantly.
What do you think of that? This is a lovely jacket from Michael Frackowitz.
Is it a Frackowitz?
Yeah,
I'm surprised.
Michael
He hasn't had a
Frackowitz.
shouter. He told me at your event, by the way, he said, my dream, it's not, that's not how he talks. His dream, he said, is to the two of you on the podcast one day wearing my suits.
Oh, wow.
So I tell you what, Frackowitz, I've got to sell a few podcasts with four of them suits, baby. I don't
Well,
even
there
go
you
near
go.
his stand. It looks so posh. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this episode of the podcast, please feel free to let us know. 5 stars wherever you listen to your podcast, please. Also, if you have got some advice for lovely Giorgio's on earlier from Prime Electrics, feel free to leave it in the comments. We love it when people comment on the podcast. And other than that, if you want to learn, if you've got some great knowledge from Jimbo, you thought, do you know what, I'd love to get more knowledge from him. They could go to Entrepreneurs University, couldn't they?
Yeah, or come to Business Masterclass.
That's next year.
Yeah, but you book
Sell
now.
the thing.
Tickets are going. Tickets are going, gang.
Fine.
Get all your tickets to any of my seminars at jamessinclair.net.
What other seminars you got?
We're doing buying businesses
Oh, that'd be a good one, wouldn't it?
for these as well. Can I just say?
Oh, bloody, it was turning into a car boot sale.
I've got some DVDs for sale as well. Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
The James Sinclair box set.
You can find
So
my
only got a
profile
goodie,
on
plus
Vinted.
Amy was there.
Millionaire Clown, the first book I've ever done. Then the experience business. Then getting customers. And now, baby, the Dream Team is out. This is a brand new book that I've put together, all about building effective. And that's the key word here, JB, effective teams. How do you get your team to be as effective as possible?
How do you? Will I find out in the
Well,
book?
I think we could give a little tip here.
Go on.
I think what puts effective people above the line and below the line, that's the best thinking. So effective people operate above the line. We live in awe of them. They have ownership, accountability, and responsibility. They're victors of life. And then most people are in bed, blame, excuse, denial, and they're the victims of life.
Oh, that's good.
So we want to get team members to be
Or
above
bed.
the line, that have ownership, accountability, and responsibility. Most people in life, this is not just in team, this is friends, family, students, are below the line, blame, excuse, and denial. And so we want victors, not victims.
Victors, not victims.
So look at your team and go, are they above the line? Are they above the line? Have they got ownership, accountability, and responsibility, even if they're not top level management? And if you see those people, those technicians in your business that naturally have those traits, they're the people that you want to push to be the leaders of your business.
God, value right the way to the end of this week's
I
podcast.
know,
There you go. We will see you on the next one. Ta-da.
See ya.
Thanks for watching today, gang. I hope you enjoyed the show. Now, look, we're looking for some great businesses to come on the podcast. If you've got challenges, but you're desperate to grow your business and you can't necessarily work out how to do it on your own, you'll be a perfect candidate to come here on the podcast. It's absolutely free to come on the show. Go to my website, jamessinclair.net, and there's a podcast button. Click on the podcast button, fill in the application form, and we'll do our very best to get you on the show and try and grow your business. If you're loving the podcast, make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking here. And why not give this one a watch? I think you'll like it.